Hi, hello. I'm Roxy. This is my new podcast. I don't have enough money for a pop filter, so if I too much, your eardrums will explode. So many people have told me, "Hey Roxy, why don't you start a podcast? It'll be a good experience." Basically, I'm only doing this so I can get a job in radio. So I'm literally using you to forward my own being. So I hope you're okay with that. But today is the first episode of the Roxy Report, the podcast straight from my bedroom. Quite literally, I live in here. I go out once a week, and there I find the outside air, the sun, and the graphics aren't very good. The story quite lacking. So I thought today we could start the Roxy Report with some interesting transgender topics. I'm not sure what this show's going to be. It might just be about what I did in the bathroom last night. It could be what Donald Trump has now done. Or it could be the latest news about Caitlyn Jenner dating a 20-year-old. Or it could be about football. It won't be about football. I hate football. You're just kicking a ball. You're just kicking a ball into a hole. It's a big hole. It's a square / rectangular hole, but it's still a hole. Grow up. I don't see the point in football. I've lost all my football subscribers. All three of them are just like, I'm out. I can't deal with this. This is the worst. So we're going to be finding out today's news from the best newspaper ever made, the Daily Mirror. Their website shows the definition of being a transgender as transgender is an umbrella term for persons whose gender identity, gender expression, or behaviour does not conform to typically associated with their sex at birth. Read the latest news reports surrounding this topic. Olympic champion and reality star Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce Jenner, hit the headlines when she announced she was transitioning into a woman in 2015. You know who else? Who else has announced their transition? Oh, quite a few thousand / million people since then and before then. This is something that I don't quite get. Why is Caitlyn Jenner like the star child of the transgender community? She is literally the head of the transgender community. Is that right? Probably not. I don't quite see the logic there, seeing as she's not anyway LGBT friendly. She's against gay marriage. That should be an instant turn off, right? Why are we pushing Caitlyn Jenner as our Lord and Savior? I just don't personally get it, but maybe I'm bizarre. Maybe I'm doing a podcast in my bedroom while naked. I'm not naked. Maybe I am. I just look down. Yes, I am. Okay. So anyway, so that annoys me, firstly. So I gotta read the top. Now this is the top headline regarding the transgender community from the Daily Mirror. Okay, this news story comes from the Daily Mirror. Caitlyn Jenner pulls pints in Cambridge after dashing hopes of a romance with model Sophia Hutchins. Who cares? Who? Okay, who there are more pressing issues than Caitlyn Jenner pulling a pint in Cambridge. Isn't there something else going on in the world that isn't the top headline? I don't quite understand why you think that's important. And now, no, the most important part of that is the fact that she's not dating a 20-year-old. Caitlyn Jenner is nearly 70. She might be 70 for all I know. She's around there. I don't... Anyway, moving on to the next story, which apparently is less important. Transgender prostitutes beat customer who refused to pay with a stick. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't read all of that. I thought it said that some transgender prostitutes had been beaten up, but no, they were the one doing the beating. That's great. With a stick. It's terrifying. I gotta click on this. There's a video that goes with it, but you won't be able to hear that or see that because this is a podcast. That's the whole point. Transgender prostitutes were filmed apparently attacking a customer for not paying and then brawling with him in the middle of a student protest. Demonstrators watching horror as sex workers started beating up the man as pressing issues. Look, if they didn't pay him, the other way around. If he didn't pay them, then fair enough. But this kind of news story isn't making the trans community look very good now, is it? I don't. Oh, where do they get off? I don't understand. Okay, that's quite interesting. This one is nice. Transgender aviation worker swapped sex by stepping onto a flight as a man and walking off as a woman. Paula Collins took a bag of clothes on the plane and arrived at work in London, telling colleagues. Oh God, I'm not going to get a job on the radio, am I? Damn it. Well, hopefully they don't listen this far. This is how it's going to be. That's strong. That's a good message, and that's something that's powerful. You know, you have that moment where you're walking to that situation, you're building it all up in your head, and you stand there and you go, guys, I guess, see, personally, I couldn't do that because I'm very nervous as a person, so I'd fall flat on my face when it comes to anything like that. So, but yeah, that's really strong of her to be able to just do that. I wouldn't be able to. I'm a nervous wreck. Paula Collins, 57, took a bag of clothes onto the plane in Beijing and arrived at work in London dressed as a woman. The instructor who teaches engineers how to fix Boeing 787s was worried about coming out in such a male-dominated industry. But Paula, who has 2 daughters, says her colleagues have supported her decision. She said, "I walked into work that Monday morning dressed as a woman and just said, yeah, this is how it's going to be." And they were absolutely fine with it. That's amazing. Now that's an uplifting and positive story. If only those stories were the ones that were being focused on, as opposed to Caitlyn Jenner pulling a pint in Cambridge. Transgender Fish on Blue Planet 2. They get so close and then they pull it away. They're just like, no, you're not going to have any enjoyment. We're going to take that away from you. You've had your moment of transgender glory. Now here's a transgender fish. I don't. Apparently the fish can change gender immediately. Damn, if only that was possible with humans, my life would be a lot more interesting and more fun and nicer and less depressing. Jeremy Hunt and the transgender school children shows why he's the Tories' most lethal idiot. Now, when it comes to politics, I am not very what's the word? Very versed in British politics. I love US politics because it's run by a giant what's it. But when it comes to UK politics, There's a pompous buffoon with floppy white hair, and the witch from the evil witch from the Yellow Brick Road movie. That one with the girl who has a dog and they get sucked up into a tornado. Alice in Wonderland, that's the one. Imagine for a moment that 84% of MPs said in a survey that they self-harmed because they feel unloved. The Prime Minister would immediately make a speech demanding social change. The Chancellor would shake his magic Northern Ireland-only money tree. The Health Secretary would recruit mental health experts, carers, and people to hug it all better. This is a lovely story, by the way. So, where is this actually going? Because, here you go. That was actually getting somewhere. Meet the transgender population of the UK. 6,000 people who feel unloved. 8 in 10 of whom slash at themselves to ease the mental pain, and half of whom will try to end unhappy lives. Now, Britain as a whole, that's you and me, are increasingly good and thoughtful towards them. We are less likely to belittle them, fire them, beat them, or force them into clothes or behaviours that make them want to die. There are laws to protect them, and society has generally decided that this is a matter of good manners. Wow, this is an uplifting story about the cis people trying to understand trans people. Okay, I'm going to say right now, yes, that there is obviously self-harm and depression involved with the trans community. The whole idea of transitioning and pushing yourself to be who you are is a difficult process. And we don't always get the help that we need. And that's an important fact. That's a fact of the day. If you wanted a fact of the day, there you have it. It's a hard process. It's not fun. And I can't say that the health system here or anywhere else in the world apparently works, because it doesn't. There are many issues caused. People being let down, screwed around, messed around. It just isn't. It's a vicious circle. So if hopefully at some point that can change, the sooner the better. Yeah. I mean, here's a quote from an 8-year-old trans girl. Okay? It made me sick to wear a boy's school uniform. And at that point, you realize that this issue is real. Because this isn't transgender related topics, and gender dysphoria aren't put into kids. And I feel like people who put down trans people, put down trans families for allowing their kids to transition, before they start transitioning or even talking about transition, this isn't talked about. Gender dysphoria isn't talked about. So why would this be in their head? Why would it be that someone had led them to believe that that is the way they are? This is built in. It is in your brain from birth. And unfortunately, there's no cure. Transitioning is the only thing we can do to alleviate that struggle, alleviate that pain and hardship that surrounds gender dysphoria. Because when you look in the mirror every day and you see someone that isn't you, your worst enemy, the person that you hate the most, then you realize, yep, need to change something about this, because this is not going to roll for the rest of my life. And the more people that understand that this isn't a choice, we didn't wake up one day and say, you know what? This is something that I'm going to do today. I'm going to be a girl today. And tomorrow, I'm going to go back to a man. It's fine. That's not how it is. This is a lifelong horror, torture. And the sooner we can fix it, the better. That's my thoughts on it anyway. I don't know. I may be wrong. I may be stupid, but we just need to take a look at the current situation and realize that something needs to be done and this needs to be talked about more. This is the first episode of the Roxy Report. I don't know what, I'm going to have some kind of cool jingle like me dancing in my undies or something, I don't know. The Roxy Report. Look, what's that coming over the hill? It's the Roxy Report. No, I can't do that. Get a copyright ban instantly. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to hear more of these? Do you want me to do these and turn it into an actual podcast and upload it on an RSS feed? As the nerdy kids say, the RSS feeds, we have all the RSS feeds going straight to iTunes, and then everyone downloads it on their phones with Stitcher. or do you just want this to be a YouTube thing? I don't know. But this is important. This is something that may be helping. I've not looked up on podcast websites to see if anyone is doing a transgender podcast, but hell, I might even be the first, but I highly doubt it. There probably are others, but any extra help will hopefully help this. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go outside. I know, right? Crazy. I love you all. Thanks for listening. Make sure to leave a like on this if you enjoyed it, or if this is a podcast, then smash your head against your phone. I don't know how that works. I don't know how you like a podcast. Make sure to give me a review. Tell me how much you like my dotted pants. And I will see you all soon. Bye. Bye. I don't know how to end these.